Right, how did you enjoy hearing about Module 6, first sound identification? Really, really important skills, and if you can teach this to children then you're really doing your job well, so terrific. So yeah, first sound identification, really important skill. How do you start teaching this one?
Once again, we start with their name, the most important and recognisable word they know.
Yep.
So they begin to learn to identify what sound their name starts with, and find other words that start with the same sound as their name.
Yep, terrific. How do you manage that interest in letter names and sounds?
So it can be quite challenging. It's something that we've found more recently, is that the children have a greater awareness of the letter than the sound. So this is just something that we work through at the beginning, where we really focus on the sound. For example, talking about a cow says moo, and focusing on the sound instead of the name of the animal.
That's right, and pea says per.
Yeah.
I think children are exposed to a lot more screen time now, so they're probably seeing a lot more text than perhaps in earlier years. So yeah, really important to talk about sounds before we get on to talking about letters. Do you have a favourite activity or a book for teaching first sound awareness?
So we love books and games that drop the first letter.
Ooh, they sound like fun.
Yes, they are. We've got a book called the B book, which says things like ig ook instead of big book.
Tricky.
The children love it. It's very tricky to read.
I bet it's tricky to read. That sounds like fun. I'll have to get the publisher for you. One activity you've done, which we love and we've showcased in our videos, is the little ice fire bottles with the rice, and we've shown those. So really great to children can lie back and roll the bottle around and have a look. So that's a resource that's obviously taken a bit of time, but have you had to make a lot of resources, or are you using resources you've already got?
So we have made some resources, but for the most part it's about recognising the way that you can use the resources you already have.
Yep, and I think we've said that in earlier modules as well, and I think books, there are lots of books that focus on first sounds, like Winnie the Witch and all those alliterations, so you can really do those. I've worked with some educators who will sort of reorganise the library a little bit and put those books together, just so they're easy to grab when you're up to first sound awareness. All your first sound books are together and you can just grab one, so that's another a really great hint for that. So I'd encourage you to spend as much time as you need on first sound awareness. Obviously some children are going to get it earlier than others.
Absolutely.
Do you ever do any extension activities and go on to last sound awareness?
There are children who need a little bit more of a challenge, so that's where we would start looking at the last sound and also potentially the other sounds in the word, or breaking them up. Yeah,
terrific. So there's lots of ways of extending the children, still within that play-based, within the curriculum. Thanks, Catherine.
Sure.
Okay, terrific. So that's the end of Module 6.